This week on Pivot with Purpose. I don't even know how I was supposed to start the show. Look, I have my son's brother's mom, Erica. There it is.
The fact that you picked up the phone and you called me, woman to woman, we needed to sit down.
I was tired of whatever, story I was fed.
Yeah, because he's only going to tell you what he wants you to know. And
Correct.
I'm always going to be the evil one. I'm always going to be the bad guy. It was hard because I felt like you didn't understand why or what my reasons were. There were things that had already, transpired that made me feel uneasy.
They don't treat me that way. That's never going to happen with me.
You thought I was crazy?
Hell yeah.
Did he tell you some dumb shit like that?
You guys are probably like, oh, y'all are some messy bitches. Welcome back for the second time. The first time I was really scared. Really fucking nervous. Like I was saying before, and you don't know about it because we fucked up. I'm really nervous. You're coming here because you think it's going to be really messy because of whatever clip you saw out there. I have a really special guest, and I'm nervous. Yes, it's been a long time coming. I know that I was placed on this earth 36 years ago by a God that is really funny. He probably came together with Comedy Central himself. He's just one funny guy or girl, woman. I don't know. I don't even know how I was supposed to start the show. Look, this is Pivot with Purpose, and there's a whole lot of purpose for the show today. 2018, my life changed, and I didn't know how it was going to change. I was working in corporate. I quit my job in October. I met someone, and my God, so many things happened. And I don't even know. I had a relationship. I got single. I got engaged. I had a baby, and I met this woman one day. It was Father's Day, 2021, and I decided to call my fiance's son's mother. There it is. Today here on Pivot with Purpose, I have my son's brother's mom, Erica. Can you just, wow.
Really wow. Really wow.
Just thank you for being here.
It's definitely been a long time coming. Like you, I am nervous as well.
I'm nervous as fuck.
All right.
Just thank you
but
for
I'm glad
being
to be here.
Just break the fucking house.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
You guys are probably like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah.
Look, this is, before we even start, you guys are probably like, oh, y'all are some messy bitches. I promise you it's not going to be that. And I can probably tell you that until my face turns blue.
Yeah.
Take with this what you want from it. All I know is that this is not what that is. We're going to be speaking as grown women. This is not going to be a show to speak ill of anyone. And that is not my intention with sitting here. I love her son from day one. And we're here because we both have boys that will forever keep us attached.
Yep.
And we will make sure that they will forever have a relationship.
Right.
And that we grow men that are healthy and that will forever be together in a healthy way. So we have to be healthy women to allow that to happen. So we're going to take this back to when we met and basically how we're here today.
Yep. Let's do it.
So like I said earlier, Father's Day 2021, you guys all know that I moved to New Jersey when I was engaged. And that day I decided that I want her son in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was enough. Mm-hmm. I knew that I had a stepson and I wanted him in my life.
Yep.
So I've been hearing for years now that, he wasn't allowed to come around. And to me, that it just didn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. And I was tired of whatever, story I was fed. So I wanted to change that. And I wanted to be the bridge to that because I knew I could be a bridge. And I knew who I was as a woman. So let me go speak to another woman. And I grabbed, my significant other's at the time phone and took the number and I called her. Ring.
Girl.
Hello.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that day?
Well, when I looked at my phone, it's like, what? And I was, I wasn't, to be quite honest, I wasn't, it was shock, right? So I wasn't prepared for that moment. And I was a
Bring the
little,
mic towards you.
I was a little reluctant, you know, for more than one reason, right? But started speaking with you. We planned what we planned.
Because I had my intention. I knew what I was calling you for. I was very clear that I was calling you so I could pick up King. I wanted my stepson.
So, was it the meeting? Was the first phone call or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to expect, but you agreed that very first. Well, you didn't agree you did not agree to let him come. You agreed to meet me.
Right. So that was for me the most important thing, was to meet you first, because I had my reservations as to why things were the way they were. And yeah, we needed to sit down, woman to woman. So that's why I agreed. Because there was some things going on that I didn't like, and that's why.
Why were you okay to speak with me though? You didn't know who I was?
I think first, because I think I'm a woman first, and the fact that you picked up the phone as a woman and you called me, that was huge. And because it's about my son, and because no matter what, I always want my son to have his dad. But there were reasons that wasn't happening, right? So to have another woman, and knowing that regardless of how I felt about the situation, that he has a brother, right? And that it was another woman. She has motherly instincts. I knew that my son was going to be okay. So and he wanted it. My son wanted it. It was hard for me. But I'm glad I did it. It was hard because I felt like you didn't understand why or what my reasons were behind. And it's not that he couldn't go or he couldn't, but there were boundaries at that time. And there were things that had already, transpired that made me feel uneasy. So in order for that to happen, the fact that there was another woman, another mom there, kind of put it at ease for me. You know what I mean? Like, I had to pray a lot about that one right there. I had to pray a lot about that. It was hard. And even during the whole thing, I was worried a lot.
I wanted to bring that instance there because eventually, within a couple of weeks and meetings and conversations, you allowed him to come over and spend time with us under my supervision. And that is why I wanted to bring on this conversation, because there are a lot of women out there that have this co-parenting relationship with other women that have children with their partners. And it's so important to have communication with the other woman. You sometimes are in a relationship, right? And you know that they have children with other women, and you overlook that relationship that the man has with that woman because you think they don't treat me that way. That's never going to happen with me. At least have one conversation with that other woman. Don't just take their word for it.
Right.
Don't just take their word for it, because things can change once you have a baby by them. Things change. Things can change. And it's not just every time, but just have a conversation, because sometimes there are legalities there that you don't know about that can be hidden. But it's so important to just have a conversation or a few, or be there.
Yeah, because he's only going to tell you what he wants you to know. And
Correct.
I'm always going to be the evil one. I'm always going to be the bad guy.
And it's very different also when you don't have kids, right? If you don't have kids, the day-to-day care of a child, and I already knew, because I've already been a single mom once before, right? So the day-to-day care of a child is very different than just sending over $1,000 a month. So different. I took care of one. She just turned 18. 18 long years of taking care of someone alone. Boy, let me tell you, it is a lot more than $1,000 or $1,200 a month. The time alone of waking up, the tantrums alone. Tantrums.
You're everything. You're the nurse, you're the doctor, you're the teacher, you're everything. You're everything.
But let the man tell it, yo, she just wants the money. She's just always upset. She's just always sending a, like this, the bitter baby mama, but I'm not bitter, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter. I just didn't lay down by myself.
Yeah, and at that point, it was like, dude, it's really not what you're portraying it to be. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. I'm definitely not bitter. At this point, we're far past that.
But all it takes is for us sometimes to have a conversation or spend a little more time around when they're having conversations and not just listening to one side of it all. It's just being more involved, especially if you really think this is someone that you want to have a future with, a family with. Be a little bit more involved in those conversations. Don't just be like, well, that's none of my business. Well, it will be your business if you decide to get married or have a family with that person.
Right.
Because now you have to have their child involved in your life. You just have a little bit more of those conversations. But I also bring this up because we had a lot of communication when King was over with us. I was very communicative with her. So in the blogs and, celebrity lives, Taina and, Ari and G Herbo have a son. And G Herbo has kids with Taina, so they have the son, This is the whole mess. A lot of kids, a lot of people involved. But very similar situation to ours. Your son would come over to us, and although he has a phone, and he was a little bit older, not 8 or 9 years old at that time, like a kid, his phone would be dead all the time. And although I would be like, charge your phone, my phone was always charged, was always open communication. And although he's not my son for me to be like, I wouldn't spank him, but I would take his phone away. There were plenty of times that he would be so upset. And I knew he would call and pretend like I just damn near killed him. But I was open communication. I would call and I'm like, I took the phone away, or I shut the TV off. And I was a lot more strict. And when we ate, we didn't watch TV. When we ate, we didn't have phones. And this, at least under my roof.
And that's what we needed, right? Structure. You gave him structure. And he had structure with us. So it was a mother thing. I don't know. Maybe it was just like, listen, if your son is going to be with me, I'm going to have to discipline him. And that was okay. That was okay.
And I was brand new. He wasn't like a diaper baby type of thing, like an older boy. And although he loved being over, he hated the discipline under my roof. And his dad was pretty good about like allowing me, but he also wasn't around much. So it was just like, King, myself, and the baby. And I appreciate the fact that you allowed me to, because I feel like if you were bitter, as I was told, you wouldn't have allowed me to discipline him, because you would have been like, that's my boy. You don't tell him what to do. But what a mature woman you were to allow me to discipline him, to allow me to be a mom to him, because he would be angry at me. Oh my goodness, he would be mad. Like, you're not gonna let me watch my phone during dinner? And I would just be like, no, and walk away. And then he would go outside and play. And because I knew within 10 minutes he'd be over it and playing with the dogs. And it's like, yes, call your mom and complain. And within 5 minutes, he was fine.
Yep.
So I knew he would be just fine.
And it was, what did Carla say? What did Carla say? Even with the whole book reading.
He
Remember
hated
that?
reading.
Yeah,
Yes.
even with the book reading and him having to sit, read to Psalm or whatever
Yes.
it was, right?
He had to read to the baby.
We're a village. You know
it
what I mean?
was. And you allowed it, and I never felt like I wasn't his mom when he was over with us. And you never stopped him from calling me. I was so worried when I left. I was like, well, I guess it was good while it lasted for that time.
He loves you. He really, really loves you. And the fact that we could do this, come out here and hang out with you, and, he have a bond to, even when we're away, FaceTime, speak to his brother. It's a beautiful thing. Like, look, who else but us?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Who else but us? And as long as they're smiling and we good, we good. You know what I mean? They're smiling, they need each other. And I'm glad we're doing it. My son is a happier person because of it. And our boys are looking at us like, wow.
Yeah.
Look at our moms.
So you guys are probably wondering how this all even began. So last March, I left, and I actually did not speak to you for a couple of months after leaving. I didn't tell anyone the reason behind why I had left for at least a month. But I was very hesitant on speaking with her because I wasn't public about why I left. Now, I will say here on the podcast, I spoke about some people that I had to personally apologize to for not believing. Just not believing a lot of the things that I had been through or they had been through. And she was one of them. And I don't need to go into details because if you've listened to this podcast, you know why I left my last relationship. She is an incredibly, incredibly strong woman. And I chose to be here with her today, or in the stage that we are, in the relationship that we have, because she agreed to not bond with me over the hate for someone else. Because I am very intentional in the stage of the trajectory of my life to not have any hate. I can't grow and be where I am if I harbor hate. And I explained this to her because God placed me on this earth to continue to grow and plant seeds. We went to church yesterday together. And what kind of tree was that the pastor was talking about?
Oh, God.
Some old big old tree.
The Samoa tree.
Samoan tree, Samoan tree, Samoan tree.
Something.
Big old tree.
With a little seed.
With a small seed. And I feel like I've been planting some trees since I was born. I was on this podcast in 2019. I did this exact same kind of pod with Vakai. I dated essentially a married man years ago, 10 years ago. And I sat down on a podcast with his wife almost 10 years later. And to this day, her and I still speak because I've never been a woman with hate in my heart. I've never done anything, with ill intent. I did not know. I've never set forth to hurt anyone. And with you here, with our relationship, it'll never be to hurt anyone, but to help someone. Even that person that we have in common. I would never hurt in any way, shape, or form. So when I came to you and we met and I was able to call you and tell you, I am so sorry you went through what you went through, because I don't think you knew, even 10 years later, what you went through. And I hope that God has placed me on this earth for you to stop hurting. For that at 45, and as good as you look, baby, you can today, that day that I called you a year ago, start healing. and that you from last year has started to heal. And for the women that the second that I started speaking on this podcast have started healing. I'm not an expert in this. I'm really not. And I'm still healing myself. But I just want women to understand that if you and I can come together like this, so many more women can come together.
Absolutely. And our sons, the age gap, my son is 10, right? And Sam is two and a half. He's going to be 3. And this happened 10 years ago, right? And I still have my trigger moments, right?
Absolutely.
Of course. So my healing process for me started 10 years ago. So with all of that being said, to be able to sit here, sometimes, when we talk, you relive things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of the healing process. And the fact that you and I can come together and we can speak, and it sucks that we have that in common, right? Fucking sucks. Can I say fucking?
Yeah.
It sucks, but we do. And out of it all, every time my sons are together, they're smiling.
They're smiling.
They're smiling. And not for nothing. I think me and her, every time we together, we kind of smiling if we're not doing this shit. But it works. It works, right? It works.
No, it works. I just feel like we have so much more in common than we realize, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have an older son. So you have 2 kids. Our 2 kids are 16 years apart.
Yep.
Literally 16 years apart.
Yep.
So it's like we're both.
And how old are you?
I'm 36.
Girl, I was 35 too when I had.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's insane. Like we were both in our 30s when we had our last kids, like our mid 30s. It's just we do have a lot in common, but at the same time, it's like you come from chaos. I come from a Caribbean chaos family. We both got. Well, I don't know if you want me to say that in public. We got brothers that need help. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got like things that we've had to work on. And when I look at like the trajectories of our lives, I'm like, you know what? I can see why we both fell into the same trap.
Girl.
I can see why we both fell into the same trap. But it's okay.
It is.
But it's okay because at the same time, it's like you can see me and you're like, oh, she was able to heal in that manner. So can I. So can I. And so can you listening to this as well. It's like, but what does that healing look like then? What does those boundaries look like then? So let's just move forward. Yeah. I don't want any of us listening to this thinking like, oh, I'm not strong enough to heal. Yes, the fuck we are.
Yes, you are. Stronger than you realize.
Yes, the hell we are.
Stronger than you. I never in a million years would have ever, to be honest with you, like, yeah, no. I never in a million years. But as things went on and, even from that first meeting, and then the first time that he stayed, let me tell you, we still was at that triangle building, walked in there, Carla sitting there with her wine. It was like, this chick, let me go and talk to this chick.
It was at the Roxy.
It was. I'm like, I'm behind the scenes too. I gotta, walked in there and it was good. It was good. It was nerve-wracking. It was good. It was good.
You was nervous?
Hell yeah, girl.
I was nervous.
Hell fucking yeah, I was nervous. Yeah. Because I didn't know what to expect because, again, you didn't really know. You know what I'm saying?
Know.
So
I thought you was going to go in there and do voodoo on me, so I brought my hair up because I thought you was going to take my hair
out. For real?
Hell yeah.
Did he tell you some dumb shit like that? That's that bullshit. I wish I would go do voodoo on a fucking man.
I thought you was going to take my hair, so I wore it up.
Really? No, never. Not voodoo. That's fucked up. You see? That's that ignorant bullshit that some of these people just be on, right? And that you lead to believe.
Okay, just okay, wait. Okay, no, on a serious tip.
Sorry.
No, so I do want to talk about the power of staying silent. And that's something that I wanted to touch on because of you, honestly. And I will say, I noticed there were some things, but I do know why you were doing them. So I do understand it. there was a lot of lashing out on your part after you were pushed a lot, right? They were doing your relationship, and then thereafter, you would react. There was a lot of reaction. And I want you to say, or do you now in retrospect, can you see how others from the outside could think that you were the problem if they weren't privy to the entire story?
Oh, I see what you're asking me. If they weren't privy.
Right.
And that's the only way.
Okay.
That's the only way. Because that entire thing, it was a fucking trigger. It was abuse. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, but nobody, I don't know, nobody saw that. You know what I mean? Because that's not how he treated other people. That shit was wild to me.
But if no one, could you see how your actions can make other people think that you were wilding out?
You thought I was crazy?
Could you, if
It's okay. What?
in hindsight, could you see how your responses and your yelling could make you look a little wild
to somebody who didn't know?
Right. Yeah.
I just got to reiterate that part.
No, right. To someone who's just seeing text messages on your end and like on the other end, or just hearing, when you call and you're just going off.
Yeah, I could see that.
You could see that.
I could, yeah.
Okay. Because I do want to tell you that because of you, I chose to stay silent, even while I was being berated. So.
Oh, shit.
So when I was being poked and poked and poked and poked and poked.
Like the crazy person.
Correct.
But I.
And that's why I want anyone out there listening to know that it is so hard. And it is, you're going crazy. You're like, oh my God, how do I'm going to kill you. I'm going to stab you. Literally. But because of you and what I saw, how I saw you reacting over text messages, but then I started like paying more attention, and I'm like, oh, wait, that's what's going on here. And I saw it happening to me, but there was a point, there was a small lapse in time when it was happening to me and happening to you at the same time. And I'm like, oh, wait, she's being poked too. And then I'm seeing your lash. I wasn't lashing out. And then when it was just all coming on to me, I'm like, I'm not lashing out. And then he started looking crazy by himself. So if this is happening to you, stay quiet. Their demise is coming quicker than you could ever imagine. Their demise will come. All right. So I feel like we're having a great time here, guys. Because this is how it's been. She's been here all week, and I have hung out more than I have, and I don't know how long
we have. For real.
We've been hanging out with the kids
her outside.
Listen, we have gone to Typhoon Lagoon. We went to church. We went to the beach. Where else we been?
Dope.
That's it. Because I feel like we've been to a lot more places.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Wait a minute. There's no way. I swear we've been more places.
Typhoon Lagoon.
Oh, we went to your house?
Oh, my house. Yeah, you guys came to the Airbnb. That
wow.
was, yeah. So
I swear I'd be acting like I've been doing the most.
We're having a good time. She's outside, y'all. She's outside.
Well, we've also been talking. Oh, we watched the movie?
Oh, yeah.
We watched the movie.
That movie was kind of
That movie was really good. So we've been talking about also being really intentional of removing chaos from our lives and doing growth and doing the work. So I kind of want to talk about what is your goal, like your next goalpost for being intentional about removing more chaos from your life. Because for me, really working as I'm reading The Bait of Satan. That's one of the books that I have like in my rotation right now. And I'm working right now on removing like offenses, like not feeling offended by people and being more generous. So I'm in my season of giving. Excuse me. We were at church yesterday. We were talking about generosity. So I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. I'm in my bless you money and not my F you money. So I'm working on giving. So I just hired someone else I'm really working on I have to give. So getting more clients so I can give more. Anyone in my life that I feel like I can give to, it's giving. And it's not just money for me. It's giving time. Like, I really don't be going outside, but I feel like I'm being intentional, being around you, making sure that Psalm is spending time with King. Like, I feel like that for me is super intentional. It is draining for me, but it's also filling me because I'm seeing like the memories that Psalm is making with King. So although it's like, it could be a little physically tiring, it's also filling my soul. So I'm like, those are some of my like growth and removing chaos intentional. Like, what do you feel like you want to do?
I think that I need to be more intentional with how I either react to things or take it in, right? And mostly how I react, because I take things personal. And I gotta know that everything doesn't deserve a reaction, and I don't have to be so not quick, but
abrasive.
Yeah.
You remind me so much of me a couple years back because you're quick with it.
And that's crazy because I'm older than you, right? So
yeah, but I think it also comes with like our environment and our experiences too. Like, I'm telling you, I'm here because of like certain choices that I've like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, it took me to realize certain things, right? Like the death of my dad, like, led to certain things. You still have both your parents here. Like when you just said the other day something about your dad like worships, you do no wrong. Bro, let my dad still be here. I will be with the fuck shit. You hear me? Let my dad still be here. These niggas would not. You think what?
Never.
Yo.
The way you talk about your dad too, the stories that you told me and the things that you
I would be with the fuck shits. You know, I don't know if me and JC would be this close. I don't know, man. Lord, I would be,
And would that even, well, maybe it would have.
I don't know. I don't, Psalm wouldn't be here.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying. I would still be like, because I was such a dude with my dad, because it's like, my dad could do that for me. Like, I didn't respect these men like that. I don't think I would have been as submissive as I was this last relationship. You know what I'm saying? I got okie doked because my daddy wasn't here.
I got okie doked and my daddy's here.
Right. So it's kind of like, I think I hit rock bottom, which is what got me a little bit softer. I got knocked down a little bit faster. And I had to like realize, because
I don't know if it's, I don't, like it's in my career, and just what I do. I'm in what was at the time male dominating industry. Growing up, how I grew up because of my situation. Right. I never had like nobody to protect me. So growing up on Flatbush, Brooklyn, right, I always was like, I had my girlfriends, but I was quick with it too, right? I hustle, I got to get my money. I'm outside, like all of that. It was just part of who I am. But that's something that, I need to work on. It's just.
By the way, y'all, we haven't even touched on that, but she's a very successful culinary chef. Is that the same thing? You say culinary chef?
Yes, well, chef.
Chef, culinary woman. Chef, goddamn it, she could be cooking. Culinary instructor,
owner of Jetem Catering, chef and owner of Jetem Catering, teacher for Roosevelt High School.
Yes.
High school and elementary kids. I love it, love it, love it.
So she'd be like, I cooking for real. So you're very successful at what you do. So yes, you're a boss. Like you cut your own check at the end of the day. So that does give you that sense of like, I got this. You become very abrasive, but what's that saying? Like you get more honey with you get more bees with honey?
More bees with honey.
Something like that, right?
To be soft, girl. I want to be soft.
So it's not like, I don't think I'm soft per se, but it's like, it really is that. You get more by not saying as much. Remember I was talking to that client that I tell you, like, I just don't react?
Yes.
I stopped reacting to stuff. So, but I will tell you, start trying it. Start not reacting to people. And when I started getting more from not reacting, is when I like started learning my lesson. And it started with this last relationship. I stopped, but I had to because I kind of lost my voice. But then I started realizing I was gaining more by not reacting.
Yeah, let me just say, I stopped reacting. It's been pretty recent, right? Like it's like I'm just like, I don't got no more time for this shit. Like it's just too much energy. I saw what it was doing to me. And now, it started with getting him his own phone, like, yo.
But you have to do it through everything in your whole life.
Yeah.
If you stop reacting, you have to do it to everything.
Yeah. I'm working on it. And wait, am I really? I'm gonna start working on it.
Yeah. That's another thing. We can't lie to ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes we be lying to everybody. Like, I'm working on it. It's like,
and I'm really not. So yeah, I'm gonna start working on it.
I'm not reacting. Yeah, I think that's one of the best things. Like, we have to start working on just removing chaos from our lives and finding what are those things that are keeping us in that same cycle. I'm giving myself 2 more years of working on myself. Yeah. If I end up finding like my boyfriend or whatever, when I'm walking,
or whatever.
While I'm walking in Publix. Not even go grocery shopping. I'm about
Publix, her place.
Yes, at Publix, maybe. And I'm going to do groceries on Amazon.
Somebody nice and strong and beautiful.
Yes.
And dark and handsome. Girl.
And tall. He going to be so fine.
He going to be fine.
He going to be so fine. It might be a white man.
Maybe.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to. I don't want none of that. You also said you was going to look for a therapist, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I am. And listen, this wouldn't. I've had therapy before, and yeah, it's necessary. It's necessary. Very necessary, because look, I know I got shit. And I know I got shit that I want to fix. And I know that I got shit, and without that shit, I could be so much greater.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Growth.
So, yeah. And I want that. Like I do. And I need to know how to separate the two, right? Because I'm no longer in the kitchen, in the restaurant, in the dominating. But I think that's how I've always been. Maybe that's how I've always been. I don't know. But that's just always been my personality, as far as like I just.
And that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But when it gets to this type of point, to where I'm like, you know what? I need to soften it up a little bit.
I mean,
I think there's a lot of aggression because of.
But I think aggression and softness, they're not each other's opposite. Because, like, what do you mean by aggression?
I mean, like, so quick to, and
right, but that
just so like reactive.
There's usually a segment on this podcast dedicated to advice letters, and we're gonna read this letter. Oh shit! If you want a letter, you send it to askcarlawamaris@gmail.com or send me a DM. We'll figure it out. This one says, if I can read, let's see.
Don't give it to me.
It's my. Yeah, I've been making fun of her all week because I know her age, because she'd be like, I'm like, is that what I'm gonna be like in 9 years? She's like, hold on. Is my ex being reasonable with her demands of meeting anyone I'd have around my kids before they'd meet them? Anyone? No. Okay, but let's see. Hi, so my ex and I share custody of our 3 children who are 3, 2, and 1. Well, damn.
Wow, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my God. Okay.
My vagina hurts.
I know.
We have equal split custody. I have friends with kids and a woman I've been seeing for a couple of months who I would love to very slowly introduce in the future. Here's the thing. My ex wants to meet and have meetings with every single person I'd have around my children when she's not there. She wants to know them so that they cannot do anything to harm our kids while she's not there. It's to the point I can't make plans to do fun stuff with my children or invite my friends with kids to my oldest party without her meeting them first. She also has a super long list of rules that bars everything except for basically looking at my kids in fear of someone doing something to them. I'm at a complete loss here and really looking for advice on how to proceed because she is very controlling and seems like this is another way for her to control my actions in time.
Wow.
So I guess she wants to meet like friends and people he's dating.
Everybody that comes around the kids, which is not good.
That's 3 kids. That's a lot. 3, 2, and 1. 3, 2, 1. You're fucked.
Yeah, period.
Wow.
So he's asking.
You should have put a condom on.
Yeah.
That's 3 kids. I think you need therapy.
Yeah.
A judge.
3, 2, and 1. Girl, 1.
Why are you looking at?
Why are you still in a relationship? Come on now.
Why are you looking to date?
Right. You got 3 kids. 3, 2, and 1.
Because he need help. That's why he's dating.
Girl.
I can see why he's dating.
No, you need to take accountability.
No, he need help.
Yeah, and that too.
He need help changing diapers. They all in diapers.
Yeah. She need help changing diapers. So you should probably be over there changing.
They should still be together.
3, 2, and 1.
They both need help.
Your
Why is she
baby
worried
is
about
1? She ain't even healed.
Her vagina hurts.
Girl.
Over C-section. Went off from 3.
It ain't even.
She.
So you move pretty
I'm
fast.
stressed out for them. I can't give you help. You need a therapist. BetterHelp.com/PWP.
Yeah.
You get 10% off. Ask a therapist how to help you. I'm too high to help you.
And I'm just being honest.
I don't know. I don't know how she has so much time to be worried about. How does she have time to meet people when she has kids that are 3, 2, and 1?
Wait, so is it she? Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking it's a guy who's telling you that.
Yeah, the guy is writing in.
Right. So how does he? She does. So she wants to meet all the people that he brings around his kids. Right.
She should be tired.
She really should be tired.
I don't know.
She really should be tired.
I can't help you. We're going to go to our Bible verse and pray for her.
And you.
Lord and you.
Word. Shit. Because we ain't going to place all of that on her, buddy.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Whew. For our last segment, because Lord, you got us through this episode without crying too much. I'm excited you were here. I'm just, you know what? I'm glad we were this high.
Yeah.
We was up there with you, Lord. You brought us up to the clouds because it's how we got through it. We went to church yesterday. And if you look up Journey Church ORL, so it's Journey Church Orlando with Pastor JJ, yesterday's message is called Generosity. So if yesterday was January, just kidding, June 25th.
Yeah.
So June 25th, 2023 is the message Generosity. Go watch it. Amazing. There are a few things that I took away from it. And it was when you're giving, there's always more where that came from. So always give. He asked, like, what is your gift? Give your gift. Find what that is, what your talent is. I thought of mine. It's like, it's the gift to gab. I just be talking. So I'm here. I have the gift of teaching. I love to teach. I love to produce. So I know that gift that he gave me, I might do it here on Pivot. I do it by helping others start their podcast. I do it from being the production and the talent of producing other talent, to produce Know For Sure, to hit that play button, to spread the word of God from there, from your talent of cooking and feeding others and teaching others how to cook, from, the talent of having Chris here produce this podcast, to have it out to you guys and getting the video out, to Hi Hello Labs, to having this production company here as well. So what is your gift and how are you using it? And when you become generous with your gift, you become full. So there's just so many things that I took from that sermon yesterday. So just give your gift. And if my gift to you might have been bringing Erica onto this podcast to give you something out of it, and thinking you're coming here for whatever mess they were going to create. It's not a mess. It's just a beautiful story of 2 women that we're going to come together to show you that it can be done. And it will never be done from with ill intent ever. It'll never come from that space from me because it's just not who I am, and it'll never be who I am. So today's Bible verse is I picked it. I know I did. Here we go. Luke 6:38. Actually, I didn't pick it. By Pastor JJ did yesterday. And it is Luke 6:38. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use it will be measured to you. So basically, you get what you give, you reap what you sow. So continue to give. He just kept saying give. And yesterday I was just crying at church. I don't know if it's after these new medications that I'm on, but I was just crying and crying because I was just telling you that the day before we were in the pool. And I know that you still have what may be some anger within inside of you that you might be working on, but I told you, shift that anger to love. Whenever you feel angry and you're like, I might hate you or I might not, whatever, to I love you. And it's like whenever you might feel.
Yeah, it's going to take some time, girl.
And that's fine.
Because, watching my like our kids are, so there's a gap in age. So we got to keep in mind too that King is dealing with it way, just different. Like it affects him so much right now.
Oh, I feel you.
To watch him deal with that, it just angers me.
And I told you that I understand it because I went, and I'm so glad that I can say I get it because I've been there.
You definitely
with Ayana,
because I sometimes don't even know what to say in that instance, and like you'll be like, and it helps. It helps because
I know that feeling because I've told you that those feelings that you get it, and I'll vocalize the ugly thoughts because I've had them at that same age with my other child, and because there might be times that we'll have, and someone that might be listening, you've had ugly thoughts about that person, and I'll be like, I've had this thought, so you don't feel guilty about it, and I only vocalize it to you to tell you I can now be in my shoes now and tell you I can choose to think the other way. And I can choose to, instead of having that thought, because I know that right now I could have it. Ooh, I could have it. Yeah. And I choose to make that thought love. I choose because at the end of the day, it takes more. And I know because I've chosen the hate before. When I choose the love thought, it's so much easier. It brings so much more like pain, and it takes so much more effort to choose the hate one.
Yeah, it does.
When I choose when I have chosen, and it takes some work, and you're saying it takes time, that's why I never rush you. I never rush, and I just, when I see you that you feel it, I'm like, and I just speak love to you. Yeah. I speak love unto you. I'm like, just love them. And I just tell you I love you. I just tell you, just take it with love, and I talk to you about something else, because we're not gonna do is fester in it. Because if we fester in that, I take zero time for it, because love brings light into us, and I can only bring love and light into us, because if not, I know how heavy that gets. Yeah, it gets heavy, and then that's why we like shake it off, and we keep it moving. Yeah. And every day it has to be intentional. We wake up and it's like, Lord, give them love and light, and we keep it moving. That's why we reap what we sow. And that seed grows. God. Yeah. And I used to cry about that a lot. Yeah. And if people that have listened to this podcast for a long time, I used to cry to my cousin, who's a pastor, cry to him. What the F does it mean to let go and let God? What am I letting go of? Where is God then? Sense. Where is he then? How am I going to let go? Just let go? Literally let go. Let go. Literally, that hate, let it go.
I've gotten so much better.
Yeah, and every day.
So much better.
And every day.
Right.
Let go more. But then when you let go, then you have to pick up love. Yeah. And be super intentional with it.
But it's the and you sent the quote to me the other day too. And that's been something that I've, think of, and it's like, it's better, right? The whole thing about, sometimes that's not the best thing. Sometimes the best thing is what it is.
This is what we got. Yeah, that's just what we got.
Yep.
It is what it is.
We
And this
good.
is the best.
We good.
Okay.
Yeah, we are absolutely good.
Well, that is today's episode. Make sure that you rate and review this podcast. And if you want some amazing food, and definitely some Haitian food, she be doing, I don't know, she is Haitian.
Hey.
Where can they find you for your food?
Je t'aime catering.
That's on Instagram?
On Instagram. Yep. Je t'aime catering on Instagram. Je t'aime means I love you. So you can find me Erica Carries on Instagram and Facebook as well.
And there's the Erica everyone's looked for the past 10 years. Goodbye.
Bye.